Alpine's Hemp Company. Gummies, seltzers, syrups, and more. Treat yourself to the best.
I'm Ralph Mangum for the WHKY News, and this is our weekly recap of some of the crime stories we had during the past week. That's the week of March 3rd through 7th. Here we go now.
44-year-old Alan Dale Bivens of Claremont was arrested Sunday by the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. He's charged with felony, hit and run, failure to report an accident, and window tint violation. The charges are in connection to a crash in Catawba County on February 14th. The incident occurred on US 70 near 4th Street Southwest. A bicyclist was killed in the crash. Highway Patrol identified the victim as 58-year-old Donald Stephen Ricker of Newton. Ricker was traveling east on his bicycle on US 70 and was struck by a vehicle that immediately fled the scene. Ricker passed away from his injuries at the scene. Bivens was jailed in Catawba County Detention Facility under a $7,000 secured bond. He was not listed as an inmate as of earlier on March 3rd. No court date was listed. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
The suspect in this case was arrested after police responded to a report of a disturbance. They found the suspect with a bag. They searched the bag and found drugs and ammunition in it, according to police reports. A second search resulted in the seizure of firearms. The suspect was brought to the Caldwell County Detention Center, and he has a court date scheduled later this month. 40-year-old Bobby Ray Abshire was arrested by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with possession with intent to sell or deliver Schedule II controlled substance, possession with intent to sell or deliver marijuana, and possession of a firearm by a felon. On February 23rd of this year, Caldwell County Sheriff's deputies responded to a disturbance on Poovey Drive in Granite Falls. 911 dispatchers informed deputies that Bobby Ray Abshire may be armed and had left on foot heading towards nearby woods. Upon arrival, deputies found Abshire along with a bag he had placed on the ground before fleeing. A search of the bag resulted in the discovery of 16.4 grams of methamphetamine, 8.22 grams of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, bullets, and cash. The following day, deputies executed a search warrant at Abshire's residence, leading to the seizure of 4 firearms. Following the arrest, Abshire was booked into the Caldwell County Detention Center under $70,000 bond. His next district court date is scheduled for March 12th. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
35-year-old Xavier Marquise Lee Winston of Colonial Lane in Hickory was arrested by Hickory police Friday on charges of trafficking opium or heroin, trafficking methamphetamine, driving while license revoked, and no liability insurance. Winston was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility. No bond amount is listed on the drug charges. A $500 bond was set on the other charges. District court appearances were scheduled for March 3rd and 10th. And 42-year-old William Brandon Mulkey of Talent Court in Sherrills Ford was arrested February 27th by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with 2 counts of possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver a Schedule II controlled substance, along with single counts of possession of meth, simple possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Probation and parole officers also charged Mulkey with a probation violation. Mulkey was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under a $110,000 bond. A district court date was scheduled last Friday with a superior court date set for March 17th. 33-year-old Chelsea Nicole Millsaps and 31-year-old Lane Alexander Perry, both from the same address on Childers Road in Cleveland, North Carolina, along with 41-year-old Brian Thomas Miller of South Greenbrier Road in Statesville, have all been arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers. They were each charged with felony counts of trafficking methamphetamine by possession and by transport, and possession with intent to sell or deliver meth, plus misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. Millsaps and Perry were also charged with felony possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and misdemeanor carrying a concealed gun. In addition, Perry was charged with felony possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and Miller faces 1 felony count of maintaining a vehicle for the sale or use of a controlled substance. Just after 11:20 p.m. on March 1st, a traffic stop was conducted at Mazeppa Road and Ricks Lane for a motor vehicle violation. The vehicle was driven by Miller with Millsaps and Perry as passengers. An officer spoke with all three individuals and a K-9 unit was brought in. K-9 Levi gave a positive alert to the presence of narcotics, leading to a search of the vehicle. Deputies found meth, fentanyl, and a concealed firearm and drug paraphernalia. Further investigation revealed that Millsaps had attempted to conceal and destroy over 29 grams of meth on her person. A records check confirmed that both Millsaps and Perry were convicted felons and were legally prohibited from possessing firearms. All three suspects were taken to the Iredell County Detention Center. Millsaps' bond was set at $500,000 secured. Perry, who was already out on bond, was held without bond. Miller received a $250,000 secured bond. All three are scheduled to appear in district court on March 19th.
A Conover man is charged with a break-in with intent to terrorize or injure. He's also charged with assault. Following the arrest over the weekend, the suspect was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton. He was scheduled to appear in court earlier this week. 31-year-old Avery Allen Shalito of Noah Path in Conover was arrested Saturday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony breaking and entering with intent to terrorize or injure, along with misdemeanor counts of assault on a female and simple assault. Shalito was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under a bond of $8,000. A district court date was scheduled on Monday. 56-year-old Troy Carl Werkheiser of Highview Court in Claremont was arrested by authorities in Catawba County. He's charged with trafficking opium or heroin. Werkheiser was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton Tuesday morning without bond. A court date was scheduled that same day. Reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center in Newton, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
60-year-old Charles Andrew Harmon of Taylorsville has been arrested on one felony count of statutory rape. On January 24th, the Iredell County Sheriff's Office received a report from the Rowan County Department of Social Services regarding a possible sexual offense involving a child. The incident reportedly occurred in Statesville in late 2023. Through the course of the investigation, detectives conducted witness interviews, gathered relevant documents, and facilitated a forensic interview with the juvenile victim. The suspect was identified as Charles Andrew Harmon. On March 1st, Harmon was taken into custody and jailed in Iredell County without bond. He'll appear in district court on March 24th. The investigation is ongoing. Additional charges are possible.
37-year-old Corey Paul Connolly, with no permanent address listed, was arrested by Boone police detectives on February 26th. He was charged with felony counts of obtaining property by false pretenses and possession of methamphetamine. An investigation revealed that Connolly, who was employed at a business, had illegally obtained financial information from clients, resulting in the fraudulent use of a stolen credit card. That information was used to obtain property valued at over $50,600 from two hotels on February 19th and 21st. Some financial information was illegally obtained from various businesses and individuals engaged in relief work following Hurricane Helene. Connolly was placed in the Watauga County Detention Center under a $50,000 secured bond. Court dates were set for March 11th and April 3rd. The investigation is ongoing and additional charges are expected. 42-year-old Thomas Jeffrey Edmonston of Morganton was arrested March 6th by authorities in Catawba County. He's charged with breaking and entering with intent to terrorize or injure, first-degree kidnapping, and with being a habitual felon. Edmonston was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under no bond. A district court date was scheduled for today. 19-year-old Jack Craig Lamarck of Lassen Lane in Mooresville was arrested Friday by Hickory police officers. He's charged with trafficking opium or heroin. Lamarck was confined in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $10,000 bond. A district court appearance was scheduled on March 3rd.
This case dates back approximately 2 years. 35-year-old Marcia K. Glazebrook of Newton was sentenced to 6 to 8 years in prison after entering a guilty plea to trafficking methamphetamine. That plea was entered here at Catawba County Superior Court in Newton on Wednesday. The Honorable Karen Edie Williams, Superior Court Judge from Mecklenburg County, imposed terms of the active sentence after Glazebrook entered the guilty plea. The defendant will also be required to pay a mandatory fine of $50,000. During the service of an arrest warrant for Glazebrook at an apartment on April 24th of 2023, Newton police officers saw a meth pipe and a purse. A search of the purse resulted in the discovery of a trafficking amount of methamphetamine. The defendant took responsibility for the purse, but only some of the methamphetamine. So once again, a 6 to 8 year prison sentence for WHKY Glazebrook, who entered a guilty plea to trafficking methamphetamine during Catawba County Superior Court here in Newton on Wednesday. And reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
44-year-old Marciano Pina Ulloa of Statesville was arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers Wednesday evening on Iredell County charges for trafficking a controlled substance by possession and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for a controlled substance. He faces additional felony drug charges in Gaston County. Narcotics investigators from both counties worked together to arrest Ulloa. Investigators found Ulloa to be in possession of nearly 4 ounces of fentanyl. They also suspected that a large amount of fentanyl was stored at a residence on Chapman Place Lane in Iredell County, where a subsequent search turned up an additional 4.8 pounds of suspected fentanyl. Officers also seized more than $1,000 in cash. The street value of the fentanyl seized in the case is estimated at over $250,000. Additionally, Ulloa is in the United States illegally, and his immigration status is now under review by federal authorities. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has been contacted and will assist in the case. No court dates are currently listed. Those were a few of the crime stories we had for you during the week of March 3rd through March 7th. You can find our weekly summary posted every Saturday on the WHKY YouTube channel, along with our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for your support of the WHKY News.